right. We should have the latecomers. We should have people logging in shortly and be ready to go post haste. Steve dislikes my attack on the poo. Damn, kids, they're lighting up the chat already. You know, Stryker mentioned Christopher Rob. They're just throwing out character names now. No love for Piglet, or was it higher up in the chat? Did I just miss it? No love for Piglet. So, I actually went to DLI with a guy named Christopher Robin. He was an interesting character. He was a fat man who ran fast. He was like my size, with these skinny little bird legs. Like 13-minute 2 miles.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. Anyway. To Steve's comment about sullying poo. Are you kidding me? No. See, it is well known. It is well known that Xi Jinping, not only does it bother him that people say he looks like Winnie the Pooh, like he's actually taken state actions to censor Xi Jinping based memes, especially around the Hong Kong protests. Like, that was a huge deal there, and I think there may be no greater celebration of Winnie the Pooh than that he annoys communists. I love Winnie the Pooh. I grew up with Winnie the Pooh, right? my aunts called me Christopher Robin when I was a little boy because I had my Winnie the Pooh, and I loved my Winnie the Pooh cartoons and books. And
Well,
yes,
and your name was Christopher.
and obviously my name is Christopher. It is not, however, Robin. We're McLarens here. We don't truck with that red plaid nonsense. Anywho. And no, I find the, to Stryker's joke, I find the memes of Pooh having eaten Little Piglet to be distasteful. You know, say what you want.
I don't. Dark humor is like food, and Pooh ate the piglet.
And barbecue is delicious. And Steve Rodemeyer, it was Brittany's first birthday, and I got her a pile of Pooh. Literally went to a Walmart and bought all the stuffed animals I could fit in one large trash bag and just dumped it out on her for her birthday. That was
Squeeze!
Yay! Kanga and Roo were like Power Rangers. Yeah, because kangaroos are just deer that have been to prison. Anyway, and that's the first 6 minutes of the show. So, we are talking about the Olympics, the Winter Games. And, oh my God. There is some controversy over this Eileen Gu skiing for China. And,
No, there's not. Fuck her. Oh, gosh.
Wow.
There's your F-bomb.
There we go. And we've been deranked. So, following the first fuck bomb, I'm going to have to ask everybody to go ahead and hit the share button. And we need to get in the habit of doing that. In fact, I'm thinking I might just add a sticker over the opening meme face at the front. Go ahead and hit the share button and share this on Facebook. Get your friends and family watching while we're live. Get more people in on this. Let's make some noise. Let's turn some heads. So,
anyhow, there's not really any controversy.
right.
Like,
And
that's
like
the
we said,
problem.
fuck her.
That's the problem,
Yeah.
is there's not any controversy. Right? Like, it's bad when even Jake Tapper at CNN's like, let's not forget, though, Chinese people oppress Uyghurs. It's like, when even CNN is forced to do actual journalism.
Yeah, you guys are going to love this article. Oh, my goodness.
God.
Oh, my goodness. So, just a little backdrop, so you know. Eileen Gu was born in the U.S. U.S. citizen.
I'm tracking.
And not even one of those sketchy subject to the jurisdiction of a foreign nation.
No. Like, she's...
No, legit citizen.
Like, Lee Greenwood, like, played when she was born.
Right.
Or,
She's... You know, we're not talking about an anchor baby here. Maybe a little maternal tourism, but I don't even think it's that one.
anyhow.
So here's why I want to talk about it. For one, it's Wednesday, and Whiskey Tango Foxtrot CNN. It turns out Olympic gold medalist Eileen Gu and I have something in common. Oh, you're adorable, Lincoln. Oh,
You're both communist shitburgers?
both athletes at University High School in San Francisco. How pretentious. This is University High School. No, you're not. Shut up. Your people shit on your streets and leave dirty needles, and now free crack pipes.
Have something in common. They both like China better than they like the USA.
Commies. Dirty, stinking commies. So she's one of the best skiers in the world, and I was backup first baseman on the varsity baseball team. So the similarities only go so far. I don't follow sports other than baseball. Good for you. I mean, and it's fair. I don't follow sports where nobody gets shot. Very shortly after that, I began seeing articles about the controversy surrounding Gu's popularity and stature. Because this chick renounced her U.S. citizenship to go and play for China. She renounced her U.S. citizenship to go and promote communism in China.
Yeah, Look, and can't stress this enough. This is not like Canada where they let you have a dual citizenship because the assumption is that Canadian values and U.S. values are similar enough in nature where you can be a dual citizen of both countries.
Right. It is, however, like Canada in that they will incarcerate you for having the wrong political opinions. The irony of that criticism should not be lost on even the casual sports fans, and this is where we get to the story and what's interesting. Because whatever athletes in the United States speak up about racism or other American problems, they're told by a large segment of the sports world some variation of stick to sports, or if they are basketball players, shut up and dribble. All right. Shit right up your nose, you communist piece of trash. Lincoln, whatever your last name, Shitberg, is. Okay. Well, obviously, he's making reference to Kaepernick, right? Kaepernick went out on the field.
Not with shut up and dribble.
Huh?
Not with shut up and dribble. You don't dribble in football.
Some variation of stick to sports, or if they are basketball players, shut up and dribble. So, yes. Stick with me here. Kaepernick in particular, he didn't just have an opinion. He didn't have an opinion. He was a liar. Kaepernick went out there and said, I'm taking a knee, and I refuse to say the pledge, or, I'm sorry, stand for the national anthem, until we have racial justice in this country, because black men are being killed by police officers, hunted in the street, and it's totally legal, and you're a fucking liar. I guess it's probably comfortable here that you broke the F-bomb barrier early this morning. You're a liar. Kaepernick was an absolute liar. And moreover, Kaepernick was not exercising his First Amendment rights there. Kaepernick was exercising a violation of a contract that he signed voluntarily, which includes a morality clause where he voluntarily surrendered his First Amendment rights within the context of his professional employment. So there were lots of excellently valid criticisms to go along with Kaepernick. And to take this point a little further, Kaepernick said, we have racism problems in this country. And the response was, no, we don't. You're a liar. And the straw man to that from the left was, no, stick with me, Steve. This actually matters. The straw man to that, just like this was, you just don't believe, you're not free speech absolutist, you don't believe in his right to speak. No. He can say what he wants to. Now, it's a little different here because the morality clause, he voluntarily signed away his First Amendment rights in that particular professional context. But generally, you can say what you want to. But that you're allowed to be vocally and loudly wrong in no way precludes me from saying that you are wrong.
Or stupid.
And my arguing with you and telling you that you're stupid and wrong is in no way the same as me telling you that you cannot be stupid and wrong. Just because your pepperoni pizza has pineapple on it doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to mention it. My opinion about the pineapple is irrelevant. Once I point out that there's pineapple there, I haven't said you can't have the pineapple. Right? So criticizing another person's speech is the purpose of free speech. It is not, I repeat, absolutely not in any way a curtailment of their speech. But that was the straw man that came up, because rather than address the arguments, when Kaepernick said X is true, and the correct answer was, no, here's the evidence that X is not true, that you're a liar, then the rebuttal was not, no, here's other evidence that proves my case. No, because there is no other evidence to prove your case, because you're a fucking liar. And so your only rebuttal is to straw man and ad hominem and lie more. Right? And then I want to take you back just real quick to Tim Tebow. Right? It was Tebow that tried to kneel on the field, right?
Oh, yeah, he would kneel every time he scored a touchdown, and thank God.
And he was criticized for that, and even his career was threatened over that, because that's free speech that pro-liar leftists do not condone. And in that case, it wasn't that some atheist, friendly or hostile or otherwise, came out and said, we disagree with Tim Tebow and assert that there is no God. Instead, it was an absolute assertion that this is inappropriate behavior on a football field. You should not be allowed to pray to God and say thank you for the blessings and the like, right? So their argument will always be to shut down free speech because they do not have arguments, period. When your entire life philosophy, i.e. communism, for example in this case, is based exclusively on false statements and straw men, you cannot stand on a house of straw. You cannot stand on a house of straw. But that's what they're trying to do. So, do you want to pick up?
Sure. Many American-born athletes who compete for other nations do so because it gives them a greater opportunity to make it to competitions like the Olympics. And
is that kind of like getting on the women's swimming team?
Maybe.
I can't compete with my own gender, so I'll move to another country.
You know, you solve that problem by having no more men's sports and no more women's sports. You just have sports.
You know, funny
it will
story.
Sort itself out.
There were just sports, and a woman can totally be in the NFL if she can make the team.
Yeah, that's why.
However, a man
right
cannot be on the ladies' swim team unless he's been mutilated. Moving on.
Okay. Almost none of them draws attention in the United States the way Goo has. Gee, I wonder why. In Olympic competition, examples abound going back decades of athletes from all over the world competing for other countries. Some after defecting to the United States from behind the Iron Curtain before its fall, others because their nations have been broken by war, some because they've married and immigrated somewhere else, and still others because they're looking for an easier path competition-wise to their Olympic berth. None of those apply to Goo. Okay, if the love of her life was some rich Chinese business mogul, and that's why she's scared. I mean, good Lord. And to compare it from, hell yeah, we would let athletes come compete for us after they defected from behind the Iron Curtain. You know, about 30 years ago, if you walked across the wrong part of Berlin without your papers, you got shot.
Yep.
Okay? Like, it's a thing, right? So to compare it to that...
By the way, you're welcome, Europe.
Yeah, is a disingenuous... Okay. Compare Eileen Goo's experience to that of Team Israel from the 2017 World Baseball Classic. The team was very good and managed to defeat the Netherlands, South Korea, Taiwan, and even Cuba. But they did with a roster made up almost entirely of Americans, most of whom were not quite good enough to make it to the U.S. team. Yeah, Israel's not China. They're not communists. Gu is different, athletically and otherwise. First of all, she's obviously good enough to ski for the American team, but she chose China.
Is she?
I mean, that's... she the one that keeps falling?
Yeah.
Nobody besides Gu can know for certain why she did this, but it is clear from her public comments that Gu identifies strongly with both countries and cultures. I definitely feel as though I'm just as American as I am Chinese. I am American when I am in the U.S., and I am Chinese when I am in China. Oh, but what about when China is in you?
Have you ever heard the phrase double agent? And real quick, I want to address this comment. Stryker says women in men's sports is like playing dodgeball with monkey wrenches. No, it's like playing dodgeball where only one player gets monkey wrenches.
Anyhow.
Everybody else still has the red bouncy rubber ball, but one of you has a monkey wrenches.
I've been outspoken about my gratitude to both the U.S. and China for making me the person I am, she said Tuesday at a news conference after she won gold in freestyle skiing big air competition. It's worth noting that she said this in response to a reporter's question about whether she's still a U.S. citizen, a question she did not address directly. Because she's in China. Okay. Like, they drug off that one. It was like the Norwegian or the Swiss.
Yeah,
Like in the middle.
On the live camera, they just drug. And as you can see, the authorities are taking me. No, I'm reporting here. I'm reporting, and the authorities are taking me away.
Yeah, we do not give a fuck. We do it right on TV.
Oh my God.
We no care. You stupid to come in our country. You should have listened to Donald Trump. We the asshole.
Yeah, China is asshole.
Oh, anyhow. More striking than Gu's decision to ski for China is the scrutiny it has gotten here in the United States. Taking into account the intensity of competition. Can I have it back?
Yeah.
The intensity of competition between the two powers and acknowledging the legitimacy of the criticism for China for human rights abuses. That level of focus still reveals more about many of the scrutinizers than Gu herself. Oh, I see. It's not weird that she wants to go represent a communist country that quite literally represents the only... Like, if you look at things globally, okay, Russia is a house of cards. There's a reason why Putin is acting the way that he's acting, because he actually needs more power to protect his country. I'm not saying Putin's a good guy. I'm just saying it's smart. It's chess. It is what it is. The real threat to the world at this point is China. They want to be the dominant superpower. Well, and so to act like...
Russia, there are problems with Russia, but Russia's broke. Russia's weak.
That's it. Russia's broke.
Not a substantial threat right now.
But China is. China is on the border of supplanting us with a larger economy, for example. And folks at home, that is not the one you want. So to act like the country that, I mean, speaking of the Uyghur Muslims, you know, like genocides them, like currently still genociding them. And then there's the whole thing with Taiwan and like in China, like you have the social credit score, right? You say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing or whatever, and then like, you know, you're just not allowed to participate in society anymore. I hope you like to fish because that's about as good as it gets for you. And if you bitch about it, you'll just disappear. And oh, yeah.
And God forbid you sneeze in public, they'll just weld you into the apartments.
Which is a thing that happened in the like we thought our COVID lockdowns were bad. We don't lock you down, we weld you down. We mine all this iron for good reason.
And you just left to die.
No, it's okay.
We'll come back in a couple of weeks and fumigate this place so we can stick another slave in it.
It's okay. You eat bats and ceiling. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll work out.
But in all seriousness, the fact that CNN would say it says more about us for saying, why are you picking the communists? And there's so many things. Maybe it's just you and I are the last appropriate age to understand communism bad. Like, I have memories of seeing news reports of people getting shot for trying to cross the Berlin Wall without the papers, okay? Like,
and it's not just communism bad, right? Communist Russia was bad. Communism was bad there. But when you're talking about communist China, you're talking about communism bad may be the least of the problems that one should have with China, who are currently running work-slave camps of Uyghurs. They're currently harvesting organs from the Falun Gong and have been for decades.
Oh, yeah, and that whole coronavirus thing.
And, oh, yeah, there's the biological attack on planet Earth. I mean, communism is bad and awful and should be eradicated with force in every place that it rears its ugly head. And that may be the least of the problems that you should have with China.
Yeah. Well, and look, Speaking of problems you would think people would have with China, like, didn't they literally just a few years ago repeal the one-child policy?
Yes, now it's 3.
But my body, my choice, right?
And now it's 3. Yeah, just to be clear, the whole one-child policy thing, it didn't go away entirely. They just upped the number. So now it's number 4 that you have to drown in a bathtub full of bleach.
Or
So you don't want to be the 3rd daughter in China.
because they're gonna have a son. It's just gonna happen. They're gonna have a son. And hey, man, it's almost like they've got a patriarchy.
Well, in fairness, I'll say this for China: their patriarchy situation, their patriarchy game is so weak that they've actually implemented government policies to minimize the feminization of men.
Our chat is comparing
The holy hand grenade.
the
Okay,
holy hand grenade of Antioch to China's policies.
and this is one of those stories that I would rather not talk about, but there were some juicy morsels here that needed to be chewed on.
And the Olympics shouldn't even be in Beijing anyway. Okay, we already tried this
Right.
with Bush,
Right.
10 or 12 years ago, and it was embarrassing then. It's embarrassing now, and when you're at the point where like they're rubbing it in your face, where
And we
like,
didn't even get to the cheating.
no, it's not cheating. The referee make the call, not China. We have nothing to do with that.
The one China guy won the gold medal after they disqualified several people for passing him on the ice for the what
You passed the wrong way.
it was an illegal pass. What did I do wrong? You passed China man.
You passed illegally. I passed who?
But let
Illegally.
me address the holy hand grenade thing. The holy hand grenade joke was one of the cleverest little jokes because let me tell you something, guys. Here's how hand grenades work. They have a hand grenade has a fuse that is 3 to 5 seconds. Theoretically. That's why they said you will count to 3, not 4. 5 is right out. And honestly, you don't want to make it to 2. Because when they say 3 to 5 seconds, what they mean is this thing's going to blow up after
Probably 3 to 5
basically
seconds.
when it wants to. So the correct way to throw a hand grenade is to pull the pin and throw the grenade. Once the pin is pulled, Mr. Grenade is no longer your friend.
I know a guy that broke all the fingers in his hand because he took that very literally and counted to 3 before he threw the grenade and ended up with light duty for 6 weeks as a result thereof.
like you see them in the action movies where they pull the pin and then they pop the spoon and they sit there and let the grenade cook off for a second. But no. I hope Sergeant Major's watched. Sergeant Major had some dummy drop the grenade in the pit with him and had to reach over and pick it up and throw it back out. No, Alex, I believe what you mean is if you are cooking your grenades, you ain't living life. At least not anymore. That is the kind of depends filling experiment that I will evade perpetually. That's not an option. And Steve mentions PUBG. I agree. We should play PUBG again. And yes, Ma, I remember Granddad's hand.
But look,
He had these 2 fingers sewn together from a grenade accident.
So, but seriously, just to bring it home and to button it up, it's the cheating, it's the human rights abuses, it's the communism, it's all of it.
Organ harvesting.
Yeah, the organ
Suicide
harvesting.
nets.
Yeah, all of it. Woo. Okay.
And hey, I still use an iPhone. I mean, sure, jump.
Well, but at this point, wow, that's dark. Okay, but
You want to get rid of a need for suicide nets in China? Lower corporate taxes in America.
yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. And look,
When you raise taxes in America, you create slave camps in foreign countries. It's that simple.
Yeah, yeah. But and this is WTF CNN, okay? And this is part of why this is being brought up in this context. I'm totally in the camp that says, like, screw you, China. We just won't do the Olympics in your country anymore. Like, we wouldn't do the Olympics in North Korea.
Right.
So we should probably not do the Olympics in China, who funds North Korea, okay?
Right.
Like,
North Korea is funded by China. And honestly, the only thing wrong with North Korea is nukes and communism. North Koreans are not organ harvesting.
Well, that, and they tried to, like, water their cornfields with salt, so...
that was a mistake, though. We don't have a moral problem with that psychopathy.
Anyhow... But no, to compare this to, and this says something about the media and how far left the media is, those communist shitburgers that are the ones that are, there's that old Malcolm X quote about you have to be careful reading the newspapers, otherwise they'll have you loving the oppressor and hating the oppressed. Something like that, okay?
Right.
To compare goo to somebody that escaped from behind the Iron Curtain and wanted to compete in the U.S. competition and wave the USA flag, they're saying we are as bad as the USSR. I mean, morally, okay? The fact that there's even some relative moral equivalence between China and, well, frankly, any of the other potential superpowers of the world. Like, as far as the...
Mao was worse than Hitler.
Yeah. Like, by the body count.
Like a lot.
Hey, but you know what? You know what he and Stalin did? Man, they both got their countries into the industrial age. They did, man. They did. It's an impressive feat. Like, both of them, it only took them a few decades, and they went from poor farmers to poor factory workers.
And the Nazis invented highways.
But anyhow, the point is, to compare them, to say that there's somehow, like, China's it. As far as developed countries go, China's the lowest of the low. They really are. Okay? And it's, nobody with half a brain picks China. Well, unless China's paying them money. Like,
she's biologically American.
Oh, Alex, that's fantastic.
She may identify as Chinese, but we know she's biologically American. Top keks, my man. Top keks.
But they think we're the bad guy. They're rubbing it in your face. Yeah. They're jealous of the authoritarianism. Like, they could tell guys like me and you to shut up, or we'll disappear your family. Yeah,
let's just... I'm going to close on this, a little perspective on what it means to be a communist nation like China or North Korea. Asian cuisine is primarily rice. Like, Koreans have a bowl of soup and a bowl of rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is also true to a slightly lesser... Yeah, in China, right? I mean, they live and die on the rice. And you see the images of the rice paddies and the like. But the majority of rice that's consumed in China and Korea is grown in America. We ship thousands of tons of rice in foreign aid to these countries. We grow their rice because commies can't do anything right.
Wait, we grow their lice?
Wow, I just had this fantastic meme image of frickin' CIA spy insects.
I know. To see that was
like the swarm of locust.
No, that's fried rice, you plick.
And cheap windbreakers. Rokusts and cheap windbreakers. Fried rice. All right, guys. Y'all be safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow.